Hello, today we'll be going over Crik-It. That is our platform for ordering product, and want to go over some of the cool features and also give you a tutorial on how to place orders and access other pieces of information. First thing we would like to do is show you how to get there. It's going to be, if you see up here, Crik-It, www.crik-it.net, and this will all pre-fill in. It'll bring you to this sign-on screen here, and each dealer will have its own unique username and its own password, which we will set a default password, which you can go in and change and customize your settings once you sign in for the first time. And today we're going to be using a dummy account. And it's one that we created in-house for the purpose of this tutorial. Any information that you see in this account, including prices, balances, is made up information. If you have any questions about your pricing, just go ahead and check in with us individually. Don't be surprised if you see a hot tub for close to $10,000. It's all made up information. So your username will be assigned to you, and it will be emailed to you separately, and it will look something like this. Yours will be different, of course, and your password again will be assigned to you as well, at least initially to get into the application, and then you can change it while you're in. Might be helpful to check this remember username when you sign in for the first time. That way you don't have to remember this number here. And then also I might suggest, depending on what browser you're using, is bookmarking this page for future use. You'll be in it a lot, ordering product and also checking on your account. I'm using Chrome, and Chrome has a favorites button here, a little star here. Yours might be different if you're using other browsers like Firefox. So I'm going to log in now. On the top you'll see welcome and your dealer name. In this case, miscellaneous is our dummy account, and you will also see any type of messages that we have. Normally we'll have lead times out there or new features. You'll see a banner that runs across the top here. In this case, there's no current message, and we start off with your main page here, your dashboard, which includes this will be your vendor name, your number. This will all be your information up here. In the middle of the page, we come down to a snapshot of your account just to get an idea of how you're trending for the year or even over the last 3 years. First is 3-year sales volume comparison, and what it does is it takes data that's current 2017, 16, and 15, 17, 16, and 15, and compares your total sales. You'll see where you're at now for this year, and you'll be able to compare it against where you were in 2015. And or 2017, the year isn't completed, so your total line will follow all the way through. 2016, you can see your total versus where you were trending at that point in time. At the time of this recording is September, so and then 2015, you can see how you were faring this time in September. Then we have each month's broken down. You can get a little bit more detail. Looks like this graph here is nice because it breaks it down by month, which gives you an idea of the seasonality of your business. If you do shows in the summer, for instance, you might have a concentration of higher sales in the summer. Maybe beginning of the year is your time to shine, and you'll have a higher concentration. You can compare 17 versus 16 versus 15 to see how you've done on a month-by-month comparison over the last 3 years. Very similar to this, except this over here is total dollars, and this is dollars by month. Down at the bottom, 3-year comparison, unit quantity invoiced. So meaning what we invoice to you is what we've shipped to you, and theoretically what you've sold. There could be some stock in there, and it gives the top 10 most popular items that you've purchased. And In this case, these numbers are dummy numbers, and it says 1, 1, and 1. Your case, it might be TT250 Sahara. I've sold 20 of them so far this year. In 2016, I sold 25, and then maybe 8 in 2015, and you'll be able to see these bars compared against each other. Same thing as up here, except you're doing it on a per product level, and the most popular models collectively will be over to the left, and then in descending order to the right. Again, this data is dummy data. It's a little skewed. Your profile will look a lot more detailed as far as your models, and the graphs will actually make a little bit more sense. You won't just have one in there. You'll have multiples. So that is the dashboard, the snapshot at a glance. There are going to be a lot more reports and a lot more detailed data that you can customize in the reports tab. I'm not going to go into that in this session, but that's something you can definitely do on your time. If you have any questions once you get into those reports on how to navigate or how to filter, we can work through those together. You can just reach out to us on an individual case-by-case basis. For alerts, won't go into a lot of detail here, but this will be where you can customize when you want Crik-It to email you when certain events happen. This is nice because if you're on the road and you're traveling, you can set certain alerts that'll pop up on your phone or through email, whatever you prefer. You can customize that on orders, purchase orders, orders that didn't get submitted, all sorts of information. So I won't go into that, but you can definitely do that on your own time as well. And then tools will be the menu where you can change passwords, set up passwords, add users. If you have individuals in your company that need to have access to this and maybe need to do the ordering, but you don't necessarily want them to see all of your sales data, you can set those permissions and restrictions through the Tools tab, along with a whole lot of other options that you can customize this app that'll fit your need. And speaking of being on the road, definitely would like to point out that this application, while there isn't a true to form mobile app for iOS or Android, you still pull it up on your cell phone, and it's web-based, but the web-based version of that is very close to being a mobile-based application, to where accessibility is pretty smooth. You can see everything on your laptop or on your personal computer or Mac. You can see on your iPhone or iPad rather, or tablet. So that makes it really nice. When you're on the road, you're traveling, you don't have time to be behind a computer. You can actually just pull it right up. You can do an order. You're at home shows. You can place your orders right there at the home show, in between customers or during downtimes. That way you get these orders in queue right away. Also leads me to my next point, is that this application syncs with our accounting software and our ordering software almost instantaneously. There's probably a 15-minute round trip window from the time it takes an order to come down to us and us to send the order back up to you in the form of a PO confirmation, a purchase order confirmation, is about 15 minutes round trip. The application is going to be a wonderful feature for your business. You'll be able to receive almost instantaneous feedback in the form of order confirmations, or if you're just trying to figure out your sales numbers, where you're trending, how you're trending. So it's a great application overall. We'll go ahead and get into details. That's an overview. We'll get into details on how to do the ordering, and I'll show you also the library and a few other features, and go from there. So when you first log into the account, let's say you're looking to, before you get into ordering, let's say you want to look up some information, you need some reference material. The library here will give you a lot of resources that we can provide to you that you can use for your technicians, for your customers, for your in-house sales reps, employees, whatever the case may be. So you can click on this library icon, and you'll see different pieces of data here. On top you'll see categories: sales and marketing, manuals and reference, instructional. And for instance, we go over to sales and marketing. If you want to know what this, you need a copy of the sales presentation in PDF format that we use, that you want to use to try to customize for yourself, or during a home show, you can download the PDF here. You just click on it, it'll download to your computer. If you need logos and pictures, or if you want to see different presentations, you can click on these links here. Sometimes you'll have a YouTube link, sometimes it'll be a PDF or a PNG file that'll give you different pieces of information. Manuals and reference, that's a popular one. If for some reason you need a copy of the user's manual, or your technician needs the pack, or needs to know where the pack and pump location is, or needs to know where the GFCI cord location would be, they can click on these images and they can either download it or at least view it. Instructional, we'll get more out here, but currently we have draining hot tub, which is pretty popular. We can add anything that you request. Now this is shared between all dealers, so anything that we add out here will be generic and not specific for certain dealers. If for some reason you have a provision on your hot tubs that doesn't apply to anybody else, we'll keep that separate. But any suggestions that you have, let us know, and we'll go ahead and populate this library as much as we can. It's still in the infancy stage, it's a work in progress, but we will definitely populate this as soon as we can and as much as we can. And we'll do that on our end, and we solicit any feedback or suggestions that you have for this library. And other than that, we're good here. We can go back to the main page. You'll see your navigation tool up here. Try to use these buttons instead of hitting the back buttons. Sometimes the back buttons don't always work, as with a lot of other software applications. So we'll go to the main page.